parents, my name is Holly Compton, and I'm the Manhattan Beach math coach for grades TK to 6. And the first part of this video is going to be for you. The reason I wanted to talk to you first is because this story that we're going to be doing today is multiplication, and it's really critically important that you do not teach your child how to stack to multiply yet. They will learn it later in later grades, but right now they're developing number sense, and we don't want to teach them how to stack and multiply because then they won't have the opportunity to develop all of the number sense skills around multiplication. So the first question I'm going to ask your child is, what do you notice? And I'm going to guess that some of them will say, they notice it's an array. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dots that are black and 1 that's blue. So maybe some of them will actually realize that there are 5 plus 1 row here and 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So basically this is the beginning of multiplication. So we can see 5, 10, 15, 20, or we have 4 rows of 5. That makes 20 black dots. And then there are 4 rows with 1 dot in each. They'll probably just look at it and know that's 4. So they might say that's 24 dots. Another thing they may do is they may get creative and start splitting things up in other ways. So maybe they're not going to look at it as 5 plus 1 anymore. Maybe they're going to look at it as 6, but they might split it in half. So they may split that 4 into 2 and 2. And then we can see this as 4 times 6. 4 times 6 is the same as 2 times 6 plus another 2 times 6. This is much more manageable for them to do as they're trying to learn math facts because we're breaking them down into smaller chunks, right? So we're using the distributive property to help us solve 4 times 6. So remember, this is the very beginning of multiplication, so we can't move too fast, and we're going to use pictures to support us. Then we're going to move on to the story about Cinderella's dress. So Cinderella's mice had 5 boxes of ribbon for her dress. There were 8 rolls of ribbon in each box. They can imagine this, right? They can also draw 5 boxes and then put 8 rolls in each one. So you may see strategies like that. That's totally fine. Let them do whatever strategy comes to mind for them. So there were 8 rolls of ribbon in each box. How many rolls of ribbon do they have? All right, so you might have noticed I have 2 pink sticky notes here, but really this is going to be presented as blank to your child. They can choose any one of these sets of numbers, 5 and 8. 5 and 8 would go there. 5 and 15, and increasing in difficulty, 11 and 15. Again, so important not to teach them to stack, please. So they may solve this 11 and 15 as 10 times 15 is 150, and 1 times 15 is 50, or excuse me, is 15, and then they add them together. So that's one approach that they might use to solve that. All right, time to go get your kids. I'll see you back here in just a minute. Hey kids, it's Mrs. Compton again. Are you ready for more math? I am. I think today we should do something totally different. How about you? Okay, let's check this out. I want to do this what do you notice with you. So we're going to stop and we're really going to observe what you see here and try to get creative. What are you noticing? All right, everybody hit pause and give yourself some time to think. All right, tell me in the comments the things that you noticed. Maybe give me your favorite thing that you noticed. I would love to hear from you. I'm going to take some guesses as to what you noticed. I'm going to guess that you noticed there were black dots and blue dots. I'm sure you did. Okay, so maybe you thought, I know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 black dots in a row, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4 rows. So 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 4 go here. 4 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe you thought, well, there were still 4 rows for the blue dots, but there's not 5 dots in them this time. They're just 1. So maybe you thought about it as plus 1 more row. Let's see, what else? Did anyone count the dots like this in groups of 5? 5, 10, 15, 20. So 4 groups of 5 is 20. 4 groups of 5 is 20. And maybe you thought 4 groups of 1 is 4. 4 groups of 1 is 4. And together that makes 24. Did anybody think about that? I don't know. Okay, I'm going to erase my lines, and I'm going to see if I can still get more creative, because that's what this is all about. Let's see here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to take a guess that some of you saw not 5, but maybe some of you actually just looked at it and you're like, well, there are actually just 6 dots in a row, and that's true. Did anybody count by 6s? Maybe you did 6, 12, 18, 24. So maybe you just knew you could count by 6s and you would get to 24. Okay, I still have to get more creative here. I'm going to guess that maybe some of you decided to split the 4 into rows of 2 and 2. Did anyone do that? Did you count 2 rows of 6, or 2 groups of 6 is 12, and another 2 groups of 6 is another 12? And that still makes 24 dots. Maybe somebody just counted them one by one. I just don't know. I wish I could see you. I wish I could hear your thoughts. So make sure you tell me in the comments. Okay, kids, are you ready? We're going to hear the story today. Here's the story for you. All right, so imagine you're watching a movie, kicking back, because we're in quarantine, so we're watching all kinds of movies at my house. I don't know about your house, but maybe you're watching some old school ones. So I have a little one about Cinderella and rolls of ribbon. All right, so Cinderella's mice had boxes of ribbon for her dress. There were rolls of ribbon in each box. How many rolls of ribbon do they have? All right, so let's stop and imagine that. Let's put in some numbers. So I'm going to choose the first number set to think about today. So Cinderella's mice had 5 boxes of ribbon for her dress. Okay, can you imagine 5 boxes? Everybody look in your mind. Do you see 5 boxes? Okay, there were 8 rolls of ribbon in each box. Okay, close your eyes. Imagine the 8 rolls of ribbon in each of the 5 boxes. Okay, how many rolls of ribbon do they have all together in those boxes? That's your job to figure out. All right, it's time for you to check in with your teacher and see how you should turn in this work to her. See you next time. Bye.